Good morning, friends. I hope that you had a great week last your week, enjoyed a lot, and did some kind of masti. And today, let's get back into our topic. Before we go into the topic, let me just tell you, till date, what we have discussed. Now, till date, we have discussed lot many things. We have discussed what is economics. We have discussed why economics. We have discussed the importance of the study of economics. We have discussed that how economics is going to help us. What are the different parameters? What are the approaches? And we have tried to analyze that why the study of economics plays a very important role. So all these things I have already covered. And in my last class, just to brief you, in my last class I have discussed with you a very important law. If you remember, the law of diminishing marginal utility given by Alfred Marshall. So in my discussion I have told you that the law of diminishing marginal utility says that whenever you are consuming or whenever consuming different kind of commodities, what happens when you go on consuming the same commodity again and again, it happens that your total utility may increase. Now take for example that you are consuming your favorite chocolate every day. So first day you have 2 chocolates, second day you have 4, next 5, then 6, then 7. You go on increasing your units of intake. The intake means the chocolates which you are eating. Now what happens in that? Your total utility increases, but what happens is your marginal utility comes down. Now why it is so? What is marginal utility? That means with each additional unit of the product or the commodity consumed, the marginal utility comes down. Why? Because at a particular point of time, you don't find much satisfaction or you do not derive that kind of satisfaction by consuming that additional unit of product. So this we have very clearly discussed in our last topic, that is law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay, and I gave you one example also, and we have discussed in the example that this law holds very good, but still there are few exceptions, like I told you, for rare products or reading of books, collection of rare materials. So in these cases the law does not hold good, but as such law of diminishing marginal utility states that with each additional unit consumed, the total utility increases, but your marginal utility comes down, that is it diminishes. Is it clear? Okay, that was all about your law of marginal diminishing. Okay, law of diminishing marginal utility. Now today we are going to discuss a very interesting theory, that is theory of demand. Okay, theory of demand and supply. Theory of demand and supply. First of all, we will start with theory of demand. Okay, let us first discuss the theory of demand and we switch over to theory of supply. Now what is demand? What do you understand by demand? See, actually demand is what? A desire. But in economics, demand means the purchasing power of an individual as well as his willingness to pay. Are you getting my point? Please try to understand. Purchasing power. What is your purchasing power? And whether you are willing to pay for the product. Willing to pay for the product. See, these two things are very important. Or else we can say demand is any desire. But purchasing power means whether I have the budget to pay for the product. First. Second, if at all I am having the budget or I am having the amount or I am having the capacity to pay for the price, but whether I am willing to pay. Because sometimes you see what happens is we are having numerous products in the market, but sometimes we feel that we are having the capacity to purchase, like my budget allows me, but what happens is I am not willing to pay. Why I am not willing to pay? Maybe I think that the particular price is too high, or I feel that the particular commodity may not give me that much satisfaction, So in that case we cannot say it is a demand. Now the question of demand arises whenever a person is having the desire to pay and is having the purchase power or capacity. If you are having the purchase power and you are willing to pay, then only we can say that it is demand. Did you get it? Now let us discuss what is this law of demand. Law of demand. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the definition of demand. What is demand? Demanding is the purchasing power or willingness of a person to pay. Then what is law of demand? Law of demand states that all other things remaining constant, when the price of a particular commodity decreases, the demand for the particular product or the item increases. Okay, it says that if the price of the commodity is decreased, the demand for the commodity is increased, which is the law of demand. What it says? If price decreases, then what happens? Demand will increase. Demand increases. Please remember this. That means it is an inverse proportion or relationship. Okay, so what does the law of demand state? Law of demand states very clearly that if the price of a particular commodity decreases, then the demand will increase provided other factors are constant. Okay. So this is very correct. Actually, you see, this thing is absolutely correct. Now why absolutely correct is because why I am saying it is absolutely correct. So this is the, remember, okay, why it is absolutely correct? Because see what, I will give you an example. I remember once in a last few months back, the price of onion was very high in the market, like 1 kg of onion was around 100 rupees. So what happened when the price of the onion increased all of a sudden? People, what they did? They either stopped buying onion and using them in their cooking, or whenever they used to buy onion, they used to buy in very little quantity, like in half kg or less than that. Okay, so what happened here? When the price of a particular commodity increased, the demand falls. Why the demand falls? Because there is a heavy increase in the price. But on the other hand, if there is a sharp decline in the price, say for example, suppose tomorrow the price of a particular commodity will decrease. Say for example, I remember like 1 month back, the price of chicken which is available in the market, especially in Berhampur market, was hardly 60 rupees, 70 rupees. I am talking few months back. So what happened? The demand for chicken was very high because it was cheap. Because you see other non-veg like mutton, fish and everything, they are having considered, like mutton is very high rate. Even the fish which is available do have a specific reasonable rate. But when the prices of chicken came down, people started having chicken more. Why? Because the price of the commodity came down, so demand increased. So this is what law of demand states, that when the price of a particular commodity decreases, the demand automatically increases. But the condition is other factors remain constant. So this is what is law of demand. Is it clear? Now we will discuss what is the demand schedule. I hope this is clear. Now let us move to demand schedule. Okay, demand schedule we will discuss. So I hope you know what is law of demand. Just keep in your mind that law of demand clearly states that if the price of the commodity comes down, demand will increase. If the price of the commodity increases, demand will come down. That is the inverse proportion. That is the relationship between price and demand is inverse. Okay, this is also what is law of demand states. Now let us talk about the demand schedule. Now demand schedule actually is what? The demand schedule actually explains what is the demand of particular goods at different prices. Okay, what is demand schedule? Demand schedule is demand of goods at different prices. Just we will have an observation, at different prices. Are you getting my point? So demand schedule is nothing but demand of goods at different prices. Now this demand schedule we can discuss under two headings. One is individual schedule, okay, and another is market schedule. Okay, one is individual schedule, one is market schedule. Now first try to understand that what is this individual schedule. Now let us take one small example. I'll give you a small example here. Like suppose we put here price and the other column we put the demand. Suppose for a particular say commodity X, okay. Now suppose price of the commodity is 10, rupees 10, the demand is 50. Just observe the table. But when the price comes to 8, demand is 70. When the price comes to 5, demand is 90. When the price comes to 4, demand is 120. When the price comes to 3, demand is 150. Then the price comes to demand is 200. Now what you see? Whenever there is a fall in price, the demand is what? Demand is increasing with the fall of price. When the commodity was 10 rupees, the demand was 50. Then in 8 rupees it is 70 now. Then when 5 it is 90. Then 4 with 120. Rupees 3 means 150 demand. Then rupees 2 is 200. That means what has happened? What you observe in this table? You observe that when there is a sharp decline or when there is a fall in the price factor, the demand here automatically is increased from 50. You see this table? Okay, from the table you see that is from 50 to 90 has increased to 70, then 90, then 120, then 150, then 200 and so on. So if we plot this in a graph, suppose we try to plot this in a graph, you will see we will get a sloping line like this. Okay, we will get a sloping line. Why? Because this is your price, okay, and this is a demand. So with what happens? With the price factor, okay, when price, suppose it is 0, this is 10, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2 means the demand is increasing. So we get a slope which is sloping, we get a curve which is sloping downwards. Are you getting my point? Okay, so what we have observed here is according to the demand schedule actually explains that what is the demand of goods at a different particular prices. Now when we are, demand schedule is again of two types. One is your individual demand schedule and the other one is your market demand schedule. Now in individual demand schedule what happens that we are here trying to analyze that what will be the demand of a particular commodity if that particular commodity is sold at different prices. So from this very table it is clear that when there is a drastic fall in the price of the commodity, say commodity X, whatever may be the commodity. Now when the commodity was rupees 10, the demand was 50. You can see from the table. But later on we see that when the price is coming down from rupees 10 to then 8, then 5, then 4, then 3 to 1, then automatically the demand for the product has increased. And now when the price of the commodity is rupees 2, the demand is 200. So a curve which we are getting, okay, the curve which we are getting after plotting in a graph, it is sloping downwards. So it very well explains that the demand, law of demand holds very true that which increase or with decrease in price, the demand always increases. So this is your individual demand schedule. Now let us try to understand what is a market demand schedule. Is it clear? So let us now try to understand what is a market demand schedule. Okay, market demand schedule. See, what is the difference between the individual demand schedule and market demand schedule? In individual demand schedule, we are trying to understand the relationship between the price and demand. I have already told you that the law of demand states that with decrease in price, the demand will always increase. So same thing we have tried to understand in a market, in a individual demand schedule, where we have seen that taking only one product, we have seen that the price, when the price of the product falls down, the demand automatically increases. Now let us examine or let us analyze through this market demand schedule that if we are taking into consideration different products, suppose say product A, product E, okay, product C, D, F. So when we are considering different type of products, then what will be its demand? Okay, so this is the price of the product, okay, price of product, whatever may be the product. This is product A, okay, B, C. This is the demand part, okay. This is the price and this is your demand. Demand for product A, B and C. So see this table here, we are trying to understand that what will be again the relationship between product and price, but unlike a individual demand schedule, we have taken only considering one product, but here we are taking different products and we are trying to understand what will be the demand when the price falls. So the demand will be A plus B plus C. Is it clear? Now let us consider what will be the price. Suppose price is 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3. Now what will be the demand for a product? Okay, this may be 100, okay, maybe 150, maybe 50. Okay, so now we are trying to understand that what will be the impact of the fall of price on the demand of a particular product. Now in an individual schedule, we have tried to discuss that taking in consideration only one product, where we have seen that when the price is coming down, automatically the demand is increasing. So same thing here we are trying to analyze, but we are taking here different products. Okay, so the first column represents here what? Your first column represents here price of the product, and these are the different products A, B, C. So let us say, suppose if it is 128 rupees, here it increases from 150 to 170, from 50 to 100. Suppose it's 6 rupees, again we can put the price 170, 200, okay, 150, okay, when there we can put here as 200, okay, 250, then 220 or 120, okay, or 200 we can put, okay. So this goes on. Now how we'll calculate the demand? We'll calculate the demand by adding all this together, okay. So and what we'll get is, at the end we again get a slope which is inverse, okay. The relationship is here inverse, that is price increase, okay, demand decrease. Please remember this thing, when price increases, demand decreases, when price decreases, demand increases. So the market demand schedule gives us a particular idea that when we take and compare different kind of products, we see here that when there is a fall in the price of the product, the demand of the commodity slowly increases. You see, commodity A is there, B is there, C is there, okay, and this is the price factor. That means price has now come from 10 to 8, then 6, then 5, then 4, 3. Now what has happened here? Gradually there is an increase in the demand. You see, please see this table here. There is an increase in the demand of the product. Then again B product increase. Then again C. So when we calculate the demand, we have to add up this total. Then again if we plot in a graph, you will see the graph again will get a sloping line. Okay, here also we will get a sloping line. Now why does it happens? Okay, so remember that the nature of demand curve will be always sloping downwards. Is it clear? So what we observed here, please remember that the nature of demand curve will be sloping downwards always. Okay, please remember, sloping downwards. Okay, the nature of demand curve will be sloping downwards. As I told you, the curve will be something like this. It will be sloping downwards. Is it clear? Now let us discuss the reasons. Why? Reasons. Okay, what are the reasons? The first and most, till now what we have tried to understand? We have tried to understand what is demand. Demand is actually the purchasing power of an individual and willingness to pay. So what happens? What does the law of demand states? Law of demand states that whenever the price of a particular commodity comes down, the demand for the product increases in the market. This is very true. Then we have discussed what is the demand schedule. That is, what is the individual schedule and what is the market schedule. And in both the cases we found that the nature of demand curve will be always sloping downwards, like I showed in the diagram. Always sloping downwards. Now what is the reason? The first most important reason is the law of diminishing marginal utility. Law of diminishing marginal utility, which we have already discussed, remember? Okay. तो हम लोग क्या पढ़े थे यहाँ पे? That with the increase of additional unit, when each additional unit is consumed or taken or used by a consumer, what will happen? The total utility may increase. That is true. But what will happen? The marginal utility will come down, which we have already discussed. That is first reason. Second is we call it a substitution effect. The second reason is substitution effect. Okay, what is substitution effect? Okay, I'll tell you. What is substitution effect is, suppose there are two products, product X and Y. X and Y. What happens is that when we compare between two products X and Y, suppose the cost of, say for example, we take here product X is tea and product Y is coffee. Just take for example. Now suppose the cost of coffee has increased. Suppose from rupees 42 it has now increased to 80, but the cost of tea remains as 30 rupees, constant. Okay. Now what will happen? Suppose this is the price in the market, then you will see that the demand for tea will increase. Why? Because the cost of tea is only 30 rupees. But on the other hand, the cost of coffee has increased. तुम लोग देख रहे हो ना? तो यहाँ पे चाय है, यहाँ पे कॉफी है. कॉफी का रेट 30 रुपीज ही है, पर चाय का रेट 30 रुपीज ही है मार्केट में. पर किसका रेट इंक्रीज हो गया? कॉफी का रेट. यानी कि कॉफी जो 40 रुपीज में अवेलेबल था, अब वो 80 रुपीज में मिल रहा है. देन व्हाट विल हैपन? डेफिनेटली पीपल विल buy tea and the demand for coffee will start decreasing. This is known as substitution effect. Third is your income effect. Income effect. Now what is income effect? Income effect is, if the price of a commodity decreases, then the income increases. Why? Because the person is able to purchase more, or the power of purchasing increases. Now I will give you one example. छोटा सा example हम दे रहे. Suppose मेरा salary है 10,000 rupees. Okay? So I am only getting 10,000. तो 10,000 rupees में मुझे सारा महीने गुजारा करना होगा. ठीक है? वही 10,000 रुपए में. ना अब क्या होता है, मार्केट में जो भी एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज है, जैसे आप लोग देख लीजिए वेजिटेबल्स है, या डेली यूज जो हम लोग को हर दिन के लिए चाहिए, चाय की पत्ती, चीनी, ग्रोसरी, वेजिटेबल्स, ये सब हम लोग को हर दिन के लिए ज़रूरत होता है. तो अगर इन चीज़ों के दाम मार्केट में बढ़ जाते हैं, सपोज ऑल ऑफ अ सडन देयर इज अ हाइक इन द प्राइस ऑफ एसेंशियल गुड्स, एंड व्हाट विल हैपन, आपका तो सैलरी 10,000 ही है, तो क्या होगा उसमें, यू विल आइदर स्टॉप बाइंग और यू कैन नॉट स्टॉप बिकॉज दे आर एसेंशियल, बट अगेन व्हाट विल हैपन, आप खरीदेंगे पर बहुत थोड़ा खरीदेंगे। क्यों? क्योंकि प्राइस ऑफ दोस कमोडिटीज आर वेरी हाई। माने इनकम इफेक्ट क्या बोल रहा है कि अगर आपका प्राइस, कमोडिटी का प्राइस घटता जाएगा या नीचे आएगा तो आपका इनकम का फैक्टर बढ़ेगा। क्यों? क्योंकि आप अपने जितना भी लिमिट है आपके इनकम का, 10,000 ले लीजिए, 20,000, वॉट एवर मे बी, योर कैपेसिटी हैज इंक्रीज, यू आर एबल टू परचेज मोर। सपोज for example, suppose all of a sudden the price of the vegetables comes very down, like you are getting all the vegetables at 20 rupees, 30 rupees kilo. Okay, so what you feel happy that okay, I have 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees as my income, okay, I can afford to buy the vegetables. Why? Because the cost has reduced, price have come down. So what happens, income effect says that when the price decreases, income increases, and when the price increases, income decreases. Why income decreases? Because your purchasing power comes down. आप उतने में नहीं खरीद सकते, और अगर आप खरीदेंगे भी थोड़ा थोड़ा ही लेंगे। सपोज कल को वेजिटेबल्स का दाम या कुछ भी जरूरी चीजों का दाम बहुत बढ़ जाएगा तो हम लोग वो चीज जरूर लेंगे क्योंकि हम लोग को यूज करना है, वी हैव टू टेक इट। पर क्या होगा, हम लोग जो बहुत क्वांटिटी में लेते थे हम लोग क्या करेंगे, अब वो क्वांटिटी को डिक्रीज कर देंगे। Are you getting my point? That is the income effect. Then is your new buyers. Number 4 is your new buyers. What is new buyers? The concept of new buyers says that whenever there is a fall in price, suppose all of a sudden market में किसी चीज का दाम बहुत घट जाता है, the price of the commodity comes down, and what happens? People are attracted, हम लोग अट्रैक्ट होते हैं उस चीज को खरीदने के लिए। हम लोग जानते नहीं, लाइक अभी आप देख लीजिए जैसे बिग बाजार और दूसरे मॉल्स में बहुत सारे ऑफर होते हैं, buy 2 get 1 free, all this, and whenever we visit any malls, so there are number of offers. So what happens, अगर कोई चीज का दाम बहुत कम हो जाता है तो हम लोग वो चीज जरूरत हो ना, but we are attracted to buy the goods. Okay, that means with the decrease in price, the new buyers are interested or new buyers are attracted to buy that commodity. Okay, so new buyers का meaning क्या हो गया, price decrease जब होता है, when the price decreases, okay, what happens, the new buyers are attracted, new buyers are more attracted. New buyers are more attracted to enter the market and buy the goods. And last है आपका old buyers. यहाँ पे हम लोग डिस्कस करते हैं old buyers. Old buyers का already they are the regular buyers. वो हमेशा मार्केट से कुछ कुछ चीज खरीदते हैं, पर ओल्ड बायर्स के लिए क्या होता है, जब प्राइस बहुत ज्यादा घट जाता है और व्हेन द प्राइसेस कम्स ड्रास्टिकली डाउन, तो वो क्या करते हैं, वही चीज वो ज्यादा क्वांटिटी में परचेज करना शुरू करते हैं। ओके, पहले जैसे अब मैं आपको बोल रही थी, जैसे अगर किसी चीज का दाम बहुत ज्यादा है तो हम लोग थोड़ा ही क्वांटिटी खरीदेंगे। ओके, वी नीड दैट थिंग, बट I'll buy in small quantity because the price is very high. So I have to think very tactfully before purchasing. Okay, जो चीज हम लोग 2 किलो में लेते हैं अभी हम ½ किलो या उससे कम लेंगे क्योंकि उसका दाम ज्यादा बढ़ गया है। पर कल को अगर उसी चीज का दाम बहुत घट जाता है और उसका दाम बहुत नीचे आ जाता है तो क्या होगा, हम लोग का परचेजिंग पावर बढ़ गया, यानी कि हम लोग वही चीज ज्यादा क्वांटिटी में खरीदेंगे। So that is old buyers. Old buyers are there in the market, they are buying. But when there is an opportunity for them कि प्राइस घटता जा रहा है या प्राइस कम होता जा रहा है, तो वही चीज वो क्या करेंगे, ज्यादा क्वांटिटी। Say for example mangoes, people are very fond of mangoes. Okay, now this is a summer time. So if the rate of mangoes in the market is 70 rupees, 80 rupees, तो 70-80 rupees में लोग ज्यादा भी नहीं खरीद रहे, ऐसे 2 किलो 3 किलो ऐसे। पर कल को अगर ऐसा हुआ कि मैंगो का रेट 30-20 रुपीज आ गया, तो जो लोग 2 किलो आम खरीद के लेते थे वो अभी 5 किलो खरीदेंगे, कि वो उतना ही पैसा दे रहे हैं ना, उतना ही प्राइस दे रहे हैं, तो उनको फायदा ही हुआ। तो क्या होता है ओल्ड बायर्स के कंसेप्ट में, अगर किसी चीज का प्राइस घटता जाता है तो ओल्ड बायर्स वही चीज ज्यादा क्वांटिटी में खरीद सकते हैं। Are you getting my point? So these are some of the reasons where we are discussing about the law of demand. The reason is, first is law of diminishing marginal utility, then हो गया आपका substitution effect where we have discussed two products, then income effect. income effect में क्या, अगर प्राइस घटता है इनकम इंक्रीज होगा, अगर प्राइस ज्यादा है प्राइस इंक्रीजेस देन द इनकम डिक्रीजेस। न्यू बायर्स क्या हम बोले कि whenever there is a sharp decrease in price, many new buyers will be attracted to enter the market and buy the products. And last हो गया आपका old buyers. Is it clear? So these are some of the reasons where we have discussed the law of nature of what? Nature of demand curve. Is it clear? I think it's clear. Okay, let us move forward. चलिए हम लोग नेक्स्ट पार्ट डिस्कस करते हैं। अच्छा, अभी हम लोग क्या डिस्कस करेंगे, देखिए लॉ ऑफ डिमांड तो हम लोग समझ ले कि लॉ ऑफ डिमांड एक बहुत ही आसान फंडामेंटल आइडिया हम लोग को दे रहा है कि अगर किसी चीज का प्राइस घटता है, इफ देयर इज अ डिक्रीज इन द प्राइस ऑफ अ कमोडिटी, द डिमांड विल इंक्रीज। ये तो हम लोग समझ ले, पर देयर आर सर्टेन एक्सेप्शंस ना। अभी हम लोग वही एक्सेप्शंस के बारे में डिस्कस करते हैं। एक्सेप्शंस, What does exception mean? Exception means law of demand कहाँ पे काम नहीं कर रहा है, या law of demand is not applicable in which situation. Now here क्या होगा, हम लोग क्या पहले पढ़ चुके हैं, जैसे प्राइस इंक्रीज होगा तो डिमांड डिक्रीज होगा, पर एक्सेप्शन में क्या होगा, प्राइस इंक्रीज होगा, ये प्राइस हो गया आपका और ये डिमांड। सो क्या होगा यहाँ पे, प्राइस जैसे इंक्रीज होता जाएगा डिमांड भी इंक्रीज होता जाएगा, तो यहाँ पे कर्व कुछ ऐसा आएगा। पर हम लोग क्या पढ़ चुके हैं, कर्व यहाँ पे स्लोपिंग आता था, क्योंकि along with the decrease in price demand was increasing। पर एक्सेप्शन केस में क्या आएगा, हम लोग का कर्व कुछ ऐसा, हम लेफ्ट टू राइट आएगा। ओके, व्हाई, बिकॉज अगर प्राइस इंक्रीज होता है डिमांड भी इंक्रीज होता है। तो कहाँ पे होता है, लेट अस डिस्कस। The first concept is Giffen paradox. कहाँ पे होगा, the first concept is known as Giffen paradox. What is Giffen paradox? First है Giffen paradox. यानी Giffen paradox क्या बोल रहा है, Giffen paradox, और सी अभी हम लोग डिस्कस कर रहे हैं कि लॉ ऑफ डिमांड कहाँ पे काम नहीं करेगा या कहाँ पे एप्लीकेबल ना होगा। दैट मीन्स here where we are not going to get a sloping curve. Why we are not going to get? Because as per the law of demand, if the price of commodity decreases, what will happen? The demand will increase. But according to the exception cases now which we are going to discuss, if the price increases, वहाँ पे demand भी increase होता है। तो कहाँ पे होता है, फर्स्ट फैक्टर, फर्स्ट कंसेप्ट बोला गिफिन पैराडॉक्स। गिफिन के पैराडॉक्स क्या बोल रहा है कि in case of necessary goods and commodities, okay, necessary goods and commodities, goods and आपके जो नेसेसरी गुड्स एंड कमोडिटीज होंगे, गिफिन पैराडॉक्स क्या बोल रहा है, इन केस ऑफ नेसेसरी गुड्स एंड कमोडिटीज, इवन इफ देयर इज अ राइज इन द प्राइस बट द डिमांड विल स्टिल इंक्रीज। अभी आप देख लीजिए, फॉर एग्जाम्पल यू टेक फॉर एग्जाम्पल सॉल्ट, जस्ट आई गिव यू स्मॉल नमक। अभी सॉल्ट तो हम लोग को रोज ही चाहिए, विदाउट सॉल्ट वी कैन नॉट कुक और इट विल नॉट हैव टेस्ट। सपोज सॉल्ट का पैकेट अभी ₹20 है, ओके, फ्रॉम 20 इट विल इंक्रीज टू 30, then 50, okay, and one day it will be 100 rupees also. But even if this cost of salt is 100 rupees, but still people will buy because this is a necessary item. So like this there are so many necessary goods in the market which we require every day, उसको चाहिए ही चाहिए। तो अगर उसका प्राइस बढ़ता है या there is an increase in price, still the demand will not fall but increase gradually. So that is what is Giffen paradox is talking about. Giffen paradox is a concept which explains that even if there is a increase in the price factor, but still there will be a increase in the demand. क्यों? क्योंकि वो सब आइटम जिस कमोडिटीज का प्राइस बढ़ गया है, those are necessary, we cannot avoid, उसके बिना हम लोग चल नहीं सकते, तो हम लोग को खरीदना ही है. मे बी हम लोग इतना हम लोग क्वांटिटी नहीं खरीदेंगे, पर जैसे भी हम लोग को वो चीज चाहिए. सो प्राइस बढ़ रहा है ग्रेजुअली, पर डिमांड भी ग्रेजुअली बढ़ रहा है. दैट इज गिफिन पैराडॉक्स. सेकेंड है आपका स्पेक्यूलेशन कॉन्सेप्ट. स्पेक्यूलेशन, दिस इज गिफिन, दिस इज स्पेक्यूलेशन. स्पेक्यूलेशन क्या बोल रहा है? स्पेक्यूलेशन कंसेप्ट बोल रहा है कि एट टाइम्स क्या होता है, समटाइम्स वी हैव अ बिलीव और कंसेप्ट दैट in future the price of the commodity may increase, so let us buy it now. Now for example I'll tell you, suppose I feel that the price of gold is going to increase, okay, and I am going to have this gold. मेरे को gold चाहिए, तो I feel that the price of the gold is going to increase in another 4 months. Suppose the price of gold is now 40,000 for 11 grams, okay, I am thinking that it will become 70, so let me buy now. Speculation का meaning है कि thinking, when we think that the price of the commodity will be increasing in the near future, we start buying the product, or we try to buy the product now only because we feel that the product price may be much more in the future. उसको बोलते हैं speculation. Then है conspicuous. ना कॉन्स्पिसिस माने क्या है? कुछ ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं और कुछ कमोडिटी है जिनको लोग खरीदते हैं क्योंकि उनको वो स्टेटस देता है, या दैट इज अ सिंबल ऑफ स्टेटस, और दैट इज अ सिंबल ऑफ देयर ईगो एंड प्राइड इन द सोसाइटी. सो इवन इफ देयर इज अ, सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल आई एम टेलिंग यू, लेट अस टॉक अबाउट हाई सोसाइटी पीपल, ओके, हाई सोसाइटी पीपल. So see, high society people are buying things at a very costly rate, okay, they are paying huge prices. Suppose tomorrow the cost of car increases by 10 lakhs also, increases by 10 lakhs, but still they will buy the car because that is a status symbol for them, so they are not going to compromise. So conspicuous का मीनिंग हो गया कि कुछ ऑब्जेक्ट्स या कुछ कमोडिटी ऐसे भी हैं जिनके वजह से हम लोग को स्टेटस, वी कैन शो अ स्टेटस इन द सोसाइटी, और दैट इज अ स्टेटस सिंबल. सो इफ दैट पर्टिकुलर कमोडिटी इंक्रीजेस, द प्राइस इंक्रीजेस, फिर भी लोग उनको खरीदेंगे क्योंकि उनको अपना स्टेटस बनाए रखना है. दैट इज कॉन्स्पिकुous. देन इज नॉन एज शेयर्स और स्पेकुलेटिव मार्केट. ओके, फोर्थ वन हो गया हम लोग का शेयर्स and speculative market. Okay, shares and speculative market mean sometimes what happens, some people have a tendency to buy the shares of the company thinking that the price will increase in the future and they are going to get benefit. Say for example, suppose मैं Reliance का कुछ शेयर खरीदने में इंटरेस्टेड हूँ. Suppose I buy each share ₹100 and I bought 100 shares. So 100 into 100. Okay. Now why I have bought 100 shares? Because I have a belief that in future the price of each share is going to be 500. So thinking that or speculating that the price of the shares is going to increase in the market, I buy it from now. That is known as shares in speculative. Then we have bandwagon effect. Let us discuss what is bandwagon effect. Bandwagon effect. नंबर 5 हो गया आपका बैंडवैगन इफेक्ट. बैंडवैगन इफेक्ट क्या कर रहा है ना? बैंडवैगन इफेक्ट बोल रहा है कि some people have a particular taste and preference for certain commodities or certain goods which is available in the market. और वो अपना टेस्ट और प्रेफरेंस चेंज नहीं करना चाहते हैं, अगर उस कमोडिटी का प्राइस इंक्रीज भी हो जाए तो डिमांड भी इंक्रीज होगा, क्योंकि वो अपना टेस्ट चेंज नहीं करेंगे और वो अपना शोष, क्योंकि अभी देखिए फॉर एग्जाम्पल टेक फॉर एग्जाम्पल बाइंग गोल्ड, सी गोल्ड वॉज वेरी having a reasonable rate like 30,000, 22, 25,000, but all of a sudden the price of gold has now become 40, 50, 60, 70, but still some people are buying. Why? Because उनका टेस्ट और प्रेफरेंस के हिसाब से उनको वो चीज चाहिए। और दूसरा बात ये भी है कि दे आर मेंटेनिंग अ सोशल, you can say what, pride in the market by buying these costly items. Say for example they are fond of buying gold, so even if gold cost is very high, suppose कल gold का cost बहुत high भी हो जाए फिर भी वो gold खरीदेंगे, so that is known as bandwagon effect, where we are trying to understand that with the increase in price, the demand is also increasing, because some people are very specific about the taste and preference and they are also very conscious of this total social status, उनको अपना सोशल स्टेटस भी दिखाना है। तो अगर उस चीज का प्राइस बहुत ज्यादा भी हो गया फिर भी वो चीज जरूर खरीदेंगे। ओके, so if there is a fluctuation in the price of gold, still they will buy the gold, suppose it is very high also they will buy, because they want to show this total social status or they want to show their pride in the society। ओके, the last वाला हो गया आपका इल्यूजन इफेक्ट क्या है? इल्यूजन माने क्या हो गया? इल्यूजन इफेक्ट इज वेरी कॉमन। देखिए कभी कभी हम लोग का सोचना, कभी कभी क्या है, ज्यादातर हम लोग ये सोचते हैं कि जो प्रोडक्ट का कॉस्ट ज्यादा कॉस्टली है वो प्रोडक्ट हमको अच्छा रिजल्ट देगा और आई विल बी बेटर सेटिस्फाइड विद दैट प्रोडक्ट। So we have a tendency of buying costly products. Why? Because we feel that costly products means our level of satisfaction is more or we'll get more effect. That is known as illusion. Illusion means what? Buying costly products. Costly products due to better quality or benefit. तो इल्यूजन इसका मतलब क्या हो गया? हम लोग के दिमाग में एक सोच आ गया कि जो चीज कॉस्टली है, कभी कभी ऐसा भी होता है कि हम लोग फुटपाथ में घूम रहे हैं और हम लोग को कुछ चीजें बहुत सस्ते में पर हम लोग वो चीज नहीं खरीदा। सस्ता होने से क्या होगा? वो चीज अच्छा नहीं होगा, द क्वालिटी मे नॉट बी गुड, आई कैन नॉट यूज दैट प्रोडक्ट। तो ये चीज कितने जन के दिमाग में होता है कि जो चीज सस्ता है वो चीज टिकाऊ नहीं है और उसका कुछ यूटिलिटी नहीं है। तो हम लोग क्या करते हैं, ज्यादातर कॉस्टली प्रोडक्ट खरीदने में बिलीव करते हैं। सो वी हैव अ टेंडेंसी दैट इफ वी बाय कॉस्टली प्रोडक्ट्स वी कैन यूज इट and we'll get the maximum benefit. So what happens? Even if the price is increasing, the demand is also increasing. Did you get my point? So these are some of the exceptions. Okay, what are these exceptions? The exceptions are against the law of demand, which state that even if the price of the commodity increases, the demand will also increase. For example, we have studied the Giffen paradox effect, where we have understood that prices of necessary goods and items cannot be compromised. So even if the prices of necessary goods and items are increasing, the demand will increase. सेकेंड हो गया आपका स्पेकुलेशन। स्पेकुलेशन क्या बोल रहा है? कभी कभी हम लोग सोचते हैं कि इस चीज का दाम आगे जाके और भी बढ़ेगा तो अभी से ही खरीद लेते हैं। सो वी आर even at the costly rate also we are buying because we think that still in future it will be more costly, so let us buy from now. कंस्पिरेसीज का मीनिंग क्या हो गया? हाई सोसाइटी में कुछ लोग ऐसे हैं जिनको अपना स्टेटस मेंटेन करना है, जिनको अपना औहदा मेंटेन करना है सोसाइटी में, तो उस चीज का दाम बहुत ज्यादा होने से भी वो उस चीज पर कॉम्प्रोमाइज नहीं करते। लाइक कॉस्ट ऑफ कार और बिल्डिंग, बाइंग ऑफ फ्लैट, सपोज द कॉस्ट ऑफ फ्लैट इज वेरी हाई और द कॉस्ट ऑफ लैंड इज वेरी हाई, स्टिल दे विल बाय। ओके, then shares and speculations. So shares and speculations means people have a tendency of buying the shares. Shares means a particular part of the company. Like if I buy the Reliance shares, I was saying rupees 100. Okay, I buy 10 shares or 20 shares. Why I am buying the Reliance shares even if they are at a very high rate? Because I feel that in future I will get more benefit or it will be giving more returns. Okay. देन आपका हो गया बैंड वैगन इफेक्ट। बैंड वैगन इफेक्ट क्या बोल रहा है? बैंड वैगन इफेक्ट बोल रहा है कि कुछ लोग ऐसे भी होते हैं जो अपनी चीजों माने जो ऐसी चीज खरीदते हैं जो उनके टेस्ट और प्रेफरेंस से मैच करता हो। सो दे आर नॉट बॉर्डर्ड अबाउट मनी। Are you getting my point? They are not bothered about money. What they are bothered about is about their status and about their symbolic presence in the society. Means वो अगर costly चीज खरीदते हैं तो उनका status और भी बढ़ेगा. Okay, and they have a preference to buy that product. Like I told you the example of buying gold. So some people are having the tendency to buy gold because they want to maintain that. That is bandwagon. And last है illusion. Illusion का meaning क्या होगा? हम लोग के दिमाग में ऐसा भी चल रहा है कि जो चीज कॉस्टली है उसका यूज ज्यादा होगा, अच्छा होगा क्योंकि उसका क्वालिटी अच्छा है. बट समटाइम्स दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट करेक्ट बिकॉज समटाइम्स इवन the product which is bought at a very lower cost will be giving you benefit. But illusion effect में क्या होता है? हम लोग के दिमाग में एक बात बैठ गया है कि कॉस्टली प्रोडक्ट मीन्स उसका यूटिलिटी ज्यादा होगा, उसका क्वालिटी अच्छा होगा and we can use it. So we even if the price of the commodity is increased, still the demand is also increased. So these are some of the reasons for the exception case of law of demand. Is it clear? Okay. Then we will just start today the demand function. Let us discuss the demand function. Okay. डिमांड फंक्शन क्या है? Okay, let us discuss what is demand function. See, already we have discussed the law of demand where we have understood that with the price, with the increase in price, demand will come down. With the decrease in price, demand will go up. So this is the fundamental thing which we have discussed. But according to the demand function, will be here discussing about the different functions of demand. Now please write down the equation Dn. Demand function is your Dn. Dn is equal to F. This is the function. Put the brackets. Okay. It is Pn. PC, okay, see, PN, PC, okay, PN, PS, PC and Y and T. So what is demand function? Demand function is F, PN, PC, PS, Y and T. Now what is the F is the, what is F? F is the functional relationship. Here F is the functional relationship. Is it clear? F is the functional relationship. Pn is the price of the commodity. Pn is equal to price of the commodity okay, price of the commodity. PS is equal to price of the substitute. Whatever substitute is there. Substitute we have already discussed. Price of substitute. Okay. And then we have Y. Y is your income and T is the taste. Okay. Y is your income. What is your income? And T is your taste. So see, demand function, okay, demand function is equal to F within brackets, Pn is price of the commodity, okay, then PC, we can add here PC, but PC, यहाँ पे लिख सकते हम लोग, PC is equal to price of the complement product, okay, so demand function is equal to within brackets Pn, PC, PS, Y and T. What is this? F is equal to F is the functional relationship. PC is the price of the complement product. Pn is the price of the commodity. PS is equal to price of the substitute, Y is equal to your income, and T is equal to your taste. So law of demand says that for commodities, the DN, PN are inversely related provided, like we have already studied, DN and PN is equal to inversely related. If price increases, demand decreases. If price decreases, demand increases. So this we have already studied, and this demand function clearly explains the relationship where F is the functional relationship, PN is the price of the commodity, PC is the price of the complementary product, P is the price of the substitute product, Y stands for income, and T stands for taste and preference. So the determinants of demand we will be discussing in our next class, where we will be discussing the determinants of demand, and we will be also discussing the exceptions, and little bit in details we will be discussing the types of demand. Okay. So next class what we are going to do is we are trying to discuss the demand functions, and we are going to discuss the types of demand. I hope that today's class was, I have tried my best to explain you the law of demand. Okay, what is law of demand, why it happens, why the curve is sloping, and then we have discussed some exceptional cases also, and I hope that it is clear to you by this time. And next class, as I have told you, we will start with the demand function, and we will continue or we will discuss the different types of demand. I hope it is clear. Okay, goodbye, have a nice day, thank you.